This is the BRINYTE PT16, and I'm going to tell you all about it right now. Upon unboxing, you'll find the light itself, along with a 3.6 volt 5000 mAh 21700 rechargeable lithium-ion battery, a C-type charging cable, a tactical ring, a lanyard, a nylon holster, some O-rings, and of course, the manual. The PT16 is made of aluminum alloy, is IP68 water resistant, has an impact rating of 1 meter, and weighs just over 200 grams or just over 8 ounces with the battery on board. I'll leave the tech specs from the manual on the screen now, just in case I leave out any details, so pause the video here to see those details. During my runtime test starting in the 2000 lumen turbo mode, the PT16 ran for about 2 hours and 45 minutes with what I would consider usable light, and then after it stepped down a couple of times, it ended up in the what I believe to be 10 lumen output, which has a runtime of 11 days, so I couldn't really measure how long it was going to last for because I just didn't have 10 days to spend in the studio with this light. So after the almost 3 hours of usable light, we were left with about 18 hours of just 10 lumens, and then I had to turn the light off because, like I said. Next up, during my thermal output test, the PT16 reached a max thermal output of 117 degrees Fahrenheit or 47 degrees Celsius after about 4 minutes of use. And moving along to my recharge time test, the PT16 took just under 5.5 hours to fully recharge using the suggested charging methods, which for me, that was a really long time. I don't know what was going on there. Now let's take a brief tour of the modes in general operation for the BRINYTE PT16. Okay guys, this is the BRINYTE PT16, as you guys can see right there. It has a little light indicator right here that lets you know where the light is. If it's dark out at night or you have a blackout in your house, you just leave it on the shelf and you can turn that on and off. All you have to do to turn that off is hold the button down for 10 seconds and the light will flash. It's supposed to flash, but yeah, I don't know if you're, yeah, there we go. Now it's flashing and now it's off. Okay, I thought that was going to actually light up here, but the instructions were translated from Chinese to American. So you hold this down again and it should flash again, and now it's back on, and that's how you turn that on and off. There is no lockout mode here. I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown of the body. It has a tail switch that clicks on, and then it has this side button here, which is just for the strobe unless you put it on full mode. And then you can go ahead and tap through to cycle. And if you wanted to, say you're cycling through, but then you need the strobe, you just hold that strobe down. You're gonna be able to turn that strobe on, and then you can turn that off. It has a little side button here, which I think is kind of cool, but at the same time, it's kind of useless. And I'm gonna show you right now why. Put that on, it goes right into turbo. So there's no low mode right away. The next mode after turbo is low, but you already have the tactical mode back here. So there would be no reason for you to need it here for the most part. Here I would suggest that they make it into like a low mode and then go to the high and stuff. So like it goes high, it goes turbo, then low, then medium, then high, and then turbo, and then low again. And obviously if you want to go to strobe, you double click. If you want to go to SOS, you double click again. It can only be accessed, the two strobe or blinky modes are going to be accessed through the side switch. Except for when you have it into the tactical mode where you turn that on and you can go ahead and use this direct anytime. So pretty simple operation of this light. The one thing that I was kind of concerned about was the C-type charging port. It appears to be sealed because this rubber flap kind of just flaps open sometimes. So if you did drop it or get it wet, it is internally sealed from what it looks like. So I don't think you guys are gonna have any worries with that. I like the tactical grip here and the ability to carry it in pocket as well by having that additional pocket clip space right there. So when you put the tactical ring on, you can still keep that pocket clip on the side there as well, because it does have a little groove. Just make sure that when you do order on the website that you select the proper light, because one comes with a tactical ring, the other one doesn't, and another one comes with a firearms switch too as well. So let's take it outside. I'm going to compare it to the Olight Warrior X original and the Olight Warrior X4, just to kind of give you guys a dramatic comparison between 2000 lumens and, you know, so on and so forth. But I'll keep all the specs on the screen when we go out there, so let's check it out. The PT16 has a max beam distance of 600 meters or 1,970 feet in the 2000 lumen turbo mode. It also has a max candela of 92,500 CD and utilizes one luminous LED in cool white at 6500K. All right, guys, we are outside with the BRINYTE PT16. I'm going to throw this in the 10 lumen mode. This is the 10 lumen mode. We're about 20 feet away from the railing there in front of us. And then I'm going to step it up again. And this is the 130 lumen mode. And you can see all the way back out there. That's 130 lumens, and you can already see out there it's got pretty good punch, pretty good throw. Let's beef this up to the 820 lumen mode. That's nice. 820 lumens, guys. And we're probably about 80 to 100 feet away from the tree line back there. And that's what it looks like from the 820 lumen mode. Now this baby goes all the way up to 2000 lumens, and that is what it looks like with the 2000 lumens. And as you can see, that's bright enough to light up this entire porch and bust through all the way to the back there. And look how far that goes. That's crazy. Look how bright that is. I'm going to go ahead and zoom all the way out there for you so you can actually see. I'm actually very impressed by this. It's got a good little punch to it for 2000 lumens. And of course, like I said, we're about 100 feet, between 80 and 100 feet away from that tree line back there. All the way back there is probably about 100 feet. So not bad. And then of course we have our 1600 lumen strobe, and that is what that looks like. It's a variable strobe. Now we're going to do a side-by-side comparison with the PT16 on the right here. I'm going to compare that to the Warrior X original, which is also 2000 lumens. And as you can see, those are very, very similar. We punch all the way back out there. That is just the Warrior X from Olight. And now we're going to do just the PT16. As you can see, I'm going to drive that rabbit crazy over there, because you can see him all the way in the background there. See him? That's what he's doing. He's just hanging out. He's going, what's this guy shining this light at me? This is the PT16, guys. So PT16, and now that's the same rabbit with the Olight Warrior X. And now we're going to do a side-by-side comparison with the two. Pretty similar. I mean, almost pretty darn close, except for the color tint, obviously. This is a little bit more cool white, where this is a little bit more warm white, but not bad. Now let's try the PT16 along with the brand new Warrior X4. And that's what that looks like. This is the Warrior X4 on the left, and then the PT16 on the right. And yeah, a little bit of a hotter beam right there in the center. A little bit more punch, I feel, but a little bit more flood with a little bit more larger hotspot. Not too different, but I mean, it's different enough where you guys can see. But that's what it's going to look like from about 100 feet away from that tree line back there. Let's turn. This is just the Warrior X4, and this is just the PT16. So yeah, the Warrior X4 is obviously a significantly brighter light to begin with, but for a 2000 lumen light, compare this again with the Warrior X original, pretty similar, pretty comparable, except for on this one, you get that nice tactical ring. So not bad.
Now for my pros and cons. First, the pros. The PT16 is just as bright and powerful as the original Olight Warrior X, with the added benefit of a separate direct-to-strobe and turbo tail switch. And now for my cons. The side switch was kind of poorly thought out, if you ask me. It didn't have a direct-to-low mode, which I thought would have been kind of a thing to actually have on it, since you already have that direct-to-turbo with the tactical tail switch. Also, it didn't have a digital lockout mode, which I thought was kind of silly. I think that everybody should have a digital lockout mode these days. I mean, it's kind of the industry standard. And lastly, the C-type charging port flap just kept driving me crazy. I'm hoping that it's a sealed unit, but I couldn't find in any of the manuals or details online if it was actually a sealed port. If you guys want to go digging, and leave it down in the comment section below if you find out if it actually is a sealed port. It did kind of look like one, and I'm like 80% sure that it was, but there's nothing that was confirming it. But overall, guys, in closing, it's a nice middle of the road flashlight. It's got a little perks here
and there, and then it's got some downsides here and there. I mean, it's more perks than there is downsides, though. I mean, it is compared to the Olight Warrior X in this video, but at the same time, I mean, that, like I said, that's an outdated flashlight. That's like 5 or 6 years old at this point. And the BRINYTE PT16 is brand new. That just came out this past year. So with that said, I like the added benefit of the tail switch. I like the added benefit that it has the tactical ring. I like the fact that it's only $100 or less than $100. So if you want to save a few bucks, you don't want to go Olight, you'd rather try somebody new, BRINYTE's not too bad. They got a 30-day money-back guarantee on this light, and also, you know, a 2-year free from defects warranty where they'll cover repairs and stuff, but you have to fill out that warranty card. I'll leave a link down in the description for both the direct link for the actual BRINYTE website, and I will leave a link also for the Amazon store as well for BRINYTE. So I hope this video has been helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you like what you see, and give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Prepared Guy, and until next time, guys, stay prepared.
Hey there, thank you for watching. You can pat this cat.